father always told me, survival is never certain.
What's up, my movie lifers? It's your boy SOS, here with Movies Raised Us, back with another instant movie review. I just got out of the movies, and I'm gonna give you my pure, unadulterated review of Alpha. You know, no script, no nothing. You know how we do. We come out and just give you those emotions, what we think just getting out the theater. I've been kind of waiting for this movie for a while. They've been advertising it for quite a bit of time, and I'm a dog person, so they suckered me in when it was like all the development between the relationship, the origin of the relationship between, you know, man and dog, or person and dog, you know, no gender specifics. We got a dog-loving ladies out there too. Directed by Albert Hughes, who is half of the Hughes brothers duo. You know, they did, what am I thinking? Book of Eli, Menace to Society, Dead Presidents, From Hell with Johnny Depp, and one of my favorite docs, one of my top 3 docs, American Pimp. Very interesting, man, very interesting how they got these guys to talk about something that's, you know, kind of underground. The star of this, other than the dogs, of course, or the wolf really, is Kodi Smit-McPhee, who I guess he's the kid in the road, which is a movie I wasn't a big fan of, but he's also the current Nightcrawler, or the current iteration of Nightcrawler in the newer, in the last 2 and the upcoming X-Men films, and also for me, he was in Let Me In, which is an American remake of Let the Right One In. Both of those are very good movies. I would recommend you go see both of those. The original, of course, has subtitles. It's an international film. The American one doesn't. So if you mind subtitles, you can see the American one, but they're both good. Speaking of subtitles, this movie is all subtitles when they do speak. They don't do a whole lot of speaking, but there is subtitles when they do speak. The only other person I recognized from this was, I had to look her up afterwards, Leonor Varela, I think it was, but she was Nisa in Blade 2. It's the only thing I knew her from. She was like the princess, vampire princess daughter from Blade 2. So I saw her, she was in there for a minute. She was the only other person I really recognized. This movie had me coming out kind of with mixed feelings in general, not because of necessarily the film itself, but I was really watching it, sitting there going, who's this movie for? You know, at first I was thinking, oh, cool, it's, you know, I mean, I like dog movies, and a lot of them are kid-based. I'm not a big fan of like Air Bud and Air Buddies, but I do like movies like Turner and Hooch and, you know, some of the K9 type films. But I was thinking, like, is this for kids? You know, I thought at first it might be for kids and adults to go together, but, you know, for anybody who has kids, you know, under 7, you know, this isn't the kind of movie they would just sit and watch. You know, when you're at home, you know, certain movies that kids, like, they'll play, and then, you know, when the part they like comes on, they'll stop playing, watch that part, then go back to playing. You know, I noticed I don't have any kids myself, but I got nieces and nephews, and so I'm always playing with them, and I know how they watch movies. You know, and that's one of the ways they watch movies. You know, they'll watch, you know, the parts they like, and then they'll be playing with their toys or doing something else, but they won't let you turn it off because they're waiting for those moments to happen. And I think this movie has a lot of that for kids that young. For kids above that, you know, 8 to preteens and teenagers, I think, you know, they can sit there and watch this and enjoy it. Not necessarily as just a dog movie, but it kind of has that adult feel to it for them. I think for adults, I think this is like kind of one of those really good date movies for people who are in established relationships that kind of like PDA, because it has like those down moments where you could make googly eyes, kissy face, feed each other, and you're not really missing a lot. So you get those breathers while watching a movie. It's kind of a relaxed viewing, but it's got, you know, high tension moments for you to really tune in, and then you can tune out when you want and be together. So that's cool. Like I said, you know, I really wasn't sure when they were making this, going, this is our demographic, this is our audience. Especially because you have an American movie with subtitles. That alone was really unique to me, because American audiences have historically shown that they don't necessarily like subtitle movies. Not that this has a lot of dialogue in it anyway, but there's a lot of subtitles. This movie was set 20,000 years ago, and it's about a kid who's, kind of a gentle soul, goes on a hunting expedition with his father, because this is how they eat. They're hunter-gatherers, and they're going on a hunting expedition. And his mom, I don't want to give away too much, but his mom isn't sure that he's ready, and he gets out there, he hesitates, and he gets injured. They think he's dead, but he's not dead. They leave, and he wakes up. No one's around, and he has to find his way home while injured. He runs into a wolf in a similar predicament. They become friends, and they survive together. Being that he was in the road, I was kind of like, oh, it's another, this isn't post-apocalyptic, but it's, pre-apocalyptic. I don't know what you want to call it, but they didn't really have anything going on in the world at this time. So probably very similar topography. The world probably looked a lot like it would look once we go through a nuclear holocaust, but just forget I said that. So it has that feel. It's kind of a road trip, survival type movie. There are these moments in there that, to me, are, like I said before, kind of more adult than you would have other kids. They deal with a little bit of death, a little bit of blood, there's some hunting. So you do get some minor violence and stuff. So there's a little bit of that. And then there's it really kind of like a watered down Revenant meets, some sort of, Hallmark dog buddy movie. It's this really weird, globule of information that you have to process. And like I said, it doesn't really seem like they had a laser focused direction. I will say this, for my cinephiles out there, this is one of those movies that's kind of a DP's dream. Large vistas, large scope scenery. They get to play with, lighting, with fire and shadows and all this stuff that people who love visuals really get into. So that was one of the redeeming things, and really one of the few things that I felt was worth the big screen experience. For me, I really, there's something that you have to bring that seeing it on the big screen and paying big money is going to make it worth it. And usually when I bring you the review, that's something that I consider before I tell you what my rating is and whether I think you should go see it on the big screen. So this is one of those where that would be really the one redeeming moment about the large screen experience. Other than that, I'm not sure what else is there for you. The story itself, it's something that we've definitely seen before, which, I mean, what movie isn't something we've seen before? But like I was saying, I really was having a hard time processing the audience. It didn't really give me anything new, no new surprises. Everything kind of gets wrapped up in a nice little bow, which is also what makes it a cool date movie, again, for those that like that kind of stuff. Doesn't give me anything special, but what I will say is Albert Hughes does shine here as a director, because he shows you that he understands the minute aspects of relationship and really the minute details of what we need to see to get information across, especially one with very little dialogue that's based on emotion and relationships, and he handles that very, very well. So my hat's off to him. I think he did a great job directing this very unique piece of cinema. You get a little bit of CGI, well, maybe, quite a bit of CGI. They mix it in, some blending, nothing that's too jarring. So I would say they did a good job there. One of the things that was, for me, a little bit of a letdown is that the relationship between a boy and a dog, it happened a little too easy. Where I'm from, look, I'm a dog person, and we love dogs where I'm from, but there's 3 questions that we ask where I'm from. They're standard questions. Number 1, who made the potato salad? That's a regular question where I'm from. Number 2, did you wash your hands? We always like to know if you wash your hands before you come touching anything around us. And number 3, whose dog is this? We like dogs, but if it's a dog we don't know or a dog off a leash, that's the number 1. Hey, whose dog is this? Get your dog. I like dogs and everything, but I don't know him and he off a leash. Get your dog. So, usually, we complain, there's no black people in the movie. this is one of those ones where I was like, that's probably pretty accurate, because black people be like, that is dog infested area. We're not going there. That's just, we not doing that. We not messing with them. They got wolves over there. That's where the wolves live and eat. We not going messing with lions. We just, that's where they live. We live over here. They live over there. That's it. So, you know, it happened a little too easy for it to just be some wild dog off, you know, wolf really off the leash. Like, I'm like, you know, I don't know. Y'all didn't put a choker on this thing, something? You know, he ain't had nothing. And they, you know, so it was a little simpler for me. I know how, you know, feral wolves are. So, and, you know, by the end, he was just looking like a dog and feeling like a dog. And so I was a little let down on that. And like I said, it was a little bit of Hallmark where they just wrap it up neatly. So that was a little bit of a letdown. For all the publicity and all the promotion and marketing that they did with this movie for such a long time, it didn't live up to the hype. And maybe I went in there expecting a little too much. So that, you know, that's one of those things where maybe I'll blame myself for that. But I mean, all in all, the directing was great. I thought it had great moments of cinematography. I thought the story wasn't bad. It was just very standard. You know, you don't have to necessarily detach your brain, but it doesn't require any heavy thought. I think it was great I think it was great for dates. Again, I think established dates. I don't think it's new couple date movie. I think new couple date movie, you kind of do something more either high action or horror, you know, where you get a little sneak cuddles and, you know, all that little good stuff. But I definitely would say my review and my rating, at the end of the day, I know it's really what matters. My rating on this is wait for streaming. If you got a nice 60+ inch TV, I think you can still probably enjoy the large scopes. And of course, my favorite thing, gotta have my cinema snacks. So, you know, popcorn at the house, whatever your favorite cinema snacks are. I'm not a big fan of full meals, you know, in the theater. That's for another rant. But I think if you've got a 60+ inch screen TV, I would wait for streaming. If you are looking for a couple date movie where you can have some breathers and do a little kissy face and all that good stuff, I think this is a good one. And if you've got, I think, older children, like I said, somewhere between 9 and preteens to teenagers, I think that works as well. If you guys go and see the movie, like I always say, I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. I always check my comments, I always check my thoughts. Really, that's it. I don't have anything more for this one. It was pretty standard. So I didn't want to go into too much depth. But again, it's your boy SOS for Movies Raised Us. I want to thank you for coming to see me again. Remember to like, subscribe. It don't really take nothing to just click them buttons, man. I'm doing this for the love. Anytime y'all leave a comments, anytime you like, it's good for me, you know. Fills up my self-esteem. I got low self-esteem. Only reason I'm doing these videos is for the attention. I need attention, man. I need to build this up. So show me some love. And I'll be back with some more exclusives. Sorry I didn't get this one to you as early as I would have liked to, but hopefully I still came with some good information. And please keep on the lookout. I got a lot more stuff coming. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.